In the absolute darkness, where cosmic silence seems to reign supreme, there exists a place that escapes any familiar description: the realm of the infinitely small. There, where our gaze, armed with the best technology, seems destined to shatter against a wall of mist, matter dissolves, logic twists, and reality transforms into a set of possibilities bordering on fantasy. There is nothing more destabilizing than discovering how fragile the boundary is between what we believe we see and what actually composes reality. Every day we walk on a floor, shake a hand, touch an object. Everything appears solid, reliable. Yet, that solidity is nothing but a thin veil stretched over abysses of uncertainty. If we delve deeper, we discover that every grain of matter is a spectacle of emptiness and movement, of invisible vibrations, of energies alternating with inconceivable speed. Classical physics gave us a simple, intuitive map of the world, where objects move along predictable paths and causes directly produce effects. But this vision crumbles when we try to grasp the essence of matter, where reality reveals its most authentic and disconcerting face. Let us think of a simple atom, a tiny nucleus, charged with protons and neutrons, around which electrons whirl. We tend to imagine it as a small solar system, yet this image is misleading. Electrons do not orbit like planets. They are, rather, clouds of probability, entities that can never be pinned down to a precise position, but extend into undefined space. The more we try to localize them, the more they escape, almost annoyed by our intrusion. And here emerges one of the most revolutionary principles ever conceived by the human intellect: the uncertainty principle. In this new land without certainties, every act of observation becomes an act of creation. When we try to measure the position of a particle, we force it to choose a location among many possible ones. But in doing so, we lose all information about its motion. And if we try to measure its speed, its position dissolves into a multitude of possibilities. It is as if the universe tells us, "You may have many questions, but only one answer at a time." Reality, in the end, is never all here, never fully unveiled, always shrouded in an aura of mystery that ensures its vitality. This is not just a theoretical fact, but a truth verified in laboratories millions of times. The double-slit experiment, for example, has shown that particles can behave like waves, passing simultaneously through two different paths, until we decide to look. The moment we observe, the possibility narrows, reality solidifies, and the ambivalent nature of particles disappears. The act of observing is never harmless. It changes what is observed. In this dance of probabilities and choices, the distinction between observer and observed becomes blurred. Yet the strangeness of the quantum world does not end here. If we descend even further in scale, we arrive in a region where matter itself seems to lose meaning, the heart of the atom, the scale of the femtometer. Here, protons and neutrons reveal themselves for what they are: storms of energy held together by a force so powerful that it has no equal in the known universe. The strong force, mediated by gluons, binds quarks, the fundamental building blocks of these atomic nuclei. Quarks, in turn, are entities that elude any concrete representation. They have no dimension, no surface, they exist only as vibrations of a quantum field that traverses space and time. When one tries to separate two quarks, one never obtains an isolated quark. The energy accumulated in the attempt to divide them reaches such a level that new quark-antiquark pairs are formed. It is as if nature preferred to generate new matter rather than break a primordial bond. This phenomenon, called color confinement, is one of the deepest manifestations of quantum chromodynamics. One cannot observe a quark alone, just as one cannot separate a wave from the sea that generates it. The vacuum itself, in this scenario, is anything but empty. It is a continuous bubbling of virtual particles, quarks, antiquarks, and gluons that emerge and disappear in fractions of a second so brief as to escape all intuition. This quantum vacuum has measurable physical properties. It contributes to the mass of protons and neutrons, It generates effects that are manifested even in the most refined experiments, such as the gluon condensate. Mass, at this level, is nothing but the collective result of the kinetic energy of quarks and the energy trapped in gluon fields. A storm that never calms, a perpetual dance that gives life to everything that exists. And yet, even this description does not exhaust the mystery. If we look even deeper, we discover that there are not even particles anymore, but only fields. The electron, the quark, the photon are local manifestations of quantum fields that pervade every point in space. When we say that a particle exists, we are only observing a disturbance in these fields, a temporary peak that appears as something tangible. Matter, ultimately, is the result of fluctuations and interactions, of dynamic processes that intertwine endlessly. To observe these phenomena directly, we have built colossal instruments, such as particle accelerators, true cathedrals of science where particles are launched at speeds close to that of light to collide and reveal, in the fragments that result, the secrets of matter. It is in this way that many of the boldest theories have been confirmed. The existence of the Higgs boson, the interactions between quarks and gluons, the emergence of new particles in an ever more complex game. But every answer generates new questions, every discovery opens new perspectives. Thus, the infinitesimal reveals itself as a place of relationships, not of things. Particles are just the tip of the iceberg, what we can see on the surface of a much deeper and more elusive reality. Every time we seek a final foundation, we instead find a network of interactions, a balance of forces that manifests only through movement, through continuous transformation. The world is not made of bricks, but of harmonies. Of interweaving fields, of a vacuum that is never truly empty, of information exchanged like notes in a universal symphony. And it is precisely the vacuum, this seemingly simple concept, that becomes the keystone for understanding the infinitely small. Because in quantum physics, the vacuum is not absence, but pure potentiality. Even in the most desolate space, even in absolute darkness, quantum fields continue to tremble, to produce oscillations and fluctuations that, although invisible, have measurable effects. It is from this sea of possibilities that particles, forces, even space and time are born. In the heart of the vacuum, reality is constantly renewed, ready to generate matter, energy, and perhaps even consciousness. And it is here that the journey into the invisible takes on a new dimension, where nothingness reveals itself as the forge of all that exists. A place where the boundary between being and non-being becomes thin, where possibilities multiply and everything is always on the verge of becoming. But the realm of the infinitesimal does not merely explain what we are. It forces us to rethink what we can become, what it truly means to be part of a universe vibrating with possibilities. In the very womb of the quantum vacuum, modern physics has discovered that every point in space is a latent storm. Even in the apparent absolute silence, immense energies stir below the threshold of perception, like whispers of a primordial universe that has never ceased to speak. These fluctuations, invisible but real, give rise to phenomena that shake the foundations of our understanding. It is here that virtual particles nest, appearing and disappearing in the blink of a quantum eye, leaving traces so subtle that they can only be detected by the most sophisticated experiments. But these evanescent presences are not mere mathematical curiosities. Their consequences manifest everywhere, from the functioning of transistors to the energy that keeps stars burning. Consider the famous Casimir effect. Two thin metal plates, placed a micrometric distance apart in a vacuum, are attracted to each other by a force that has nothing to do with gravity or electromagnetism. It is the measurable, concrete effect of quantum vacuum fluctuations, a clear sign that nothingness is anything but empty. Even the fundamental constants of nature, the speed of light, the charge of the electron, the strength of atomic bonds, are influenced by this underground ferment. This vacuum energy is so vast as to unsettle even theoretical physicists. According to some calculations, a single cubic meter of vacuum would contain enough potential energy to vaporize entire galaxies. Yet, this monstrous energy remains largely frozen, inaccessible, as if the universe itself guarded a secret about the intimate workings of reality. It is not just an abstract question. Vacuum energy may have played a fundamental role in the very birth of the cosmos. Modern theories of cosmic inflation suggest that, in the first moments after the Big Bang, it was precisely a field of vacuum energy that inflated space-time in a fraction of a second, making possible the structure of the universe as we know it. But if the vacuum can create matter, space, and time, then nothingness has never really been nothing. The vacuum becomes the great reservoir of all possibilities, the matrix from which everything can emerge. Every particle is nothing but a vibration of a fundamental field. The electron is an oscillation of the electronic field. The photon is an excitation of the electromagnetic field, quarks as waves in their respective color fields. Nothing is born from nothing, but everything is born from a kind of creative nothingness, where every configuration is possible, but only some are manifested. And here an even more enigmatic actor comes into play, the Higgs field. It permeates every point of the universe, a silent presence that gives mass to fundamental particles. When an electron moves through this field, it encounters a resistance that manifests as mass, as physical identity. Mass, therefore, is not an intrinsic property, but the result of an interaction. An invisible dialogue between what exists and what surrounds it. And it is precisely this dialogue that constitutes reality. Everything, every event, every particle is always a relationship, never an isolated entity. But the vertigo does not end here. If we dig even deeper, we reach the subtlest and most unsettling frontier of quantum physics, the very act of observation. Here, the role of the observer becomes central. Reality, at the microscopic level, does not exist in a defined state until it is observed, or rather, until it interacts with something that forces it to choose a state among the many possible. This is the story of the double-slit experiment returning, more enigmatic than ever. The electron is both wave and particle, but becomes one or the other only when reality asks it to make up its mind. But who or what poses this question? Some scientists have boldly hypothesized that it is consciousness itself that plays this role of cosmic arbiter. The mind that observes, that measures, that inquires, might be an integral part of the process that transforms the possible into the real. If so, consciousness would not be a mere spectator, but a silent protagonist in the continuous creation of the world. It is a perspective that brings physics close to the territories of philosophy, spirituality, even poetry. The universe is no longer an indifferent machine, but a place where every act of knowledge leaves a mark, where every observer changes what they observe, where reality itself is an endless dialogue between the visible and the invisible. This vision finds further support in the mysteries of quantum entanglement. Two particles, after interacting, can remain linked in such a profound way as to share a common state, even at cosmic distances. When one is measured, the state of the other is instantly determined, as if the space between them had no meaning. This phenomenon, experimentally verified, suggests that reality is non-local. What happens in one place can have immediate effects elsewhere, as if the universe were a single, immense network of relationships. The very idea of separation, of an isolated object, dissolves like snow in the sun. At this point, physics seems to converge with some of the deepest insights of ancient philosophy and mysticism. Perhaps the universe is not a collection of things, but an intertwining of processes, events, information that are exchanged, intertwined, reflected. The infinitely small thus becomes a window onto an implicit order, a profound level of reality from which everything we know emerges. There are no longer clear boundaries, but only zones of transition, gradients of probability, bridges between the possible and the real. More and more scientists are embracing a revolutionary vision. The universe is not made of matter, but of information. According to this hypothesis, Particles are nothing but quantum bits, fundamental units of information that manifest as waves and particles, as states and relationships. The famous physicist John Archibald Wheeler summed up this idea with a simple but powerful formula. If from bit, everything that exists is born from a binary response, from a fundamental choice between two alternatives. Reality is an immense cosmic computer, in which every phenomenon is a sequence of choices, of information that transforms, evolves, intertwines in unpredictable ways. But information with respect to what? Who is the recipient of this universal language? Here the circle seems to close. Information makes sense only if there is a mind capable of receiving it, interpreting it, giving it meaning. Some thinkers, like the technology pioneer Federico Faggin, have suggested that consciousness is the original matrix of the universe, the fabric from which all physical manifestations emerge. Reality would then be a thought thinking itself, a code being written and read at the same instant, a symphony of meanings in the making. This vision, uniting science, philosophy, and spirituality, is not a simple escape into abstraction, but finds confirmation even in the most concrete applications of technology. Quantum computers, for example, exploit precisely the laws of uncertainty and superposition to process information in a radically new way. Nanotechnologies directly manipulate the properties of matter on the atomic scale, revealing new, unexpected behaviors every day. Even biology, in its most advanced form, is beginning to recognize that the fundamental processes of life, such as photosynthesis or DNA replication, can only occur thanks to quantum laws. So what does the infinitely small really see when it looks beyond the veil of the invisible? It sees that the world we know is just one of many possible configurations, a transitory manifestation of a deeper code. It sees that the separation between mind and matter, between observer and observed, between void and fullness, between possibility and reality, is only an optical illusion. It sees that everything is relationship, information, consciousness in motion. In this journey to the borders of being, the infinitely small gives us its most dizzying lesson. Reality is never final, but a continuous process of becoming. The visible is born from the invisible, order from chaos, certainty from chance. And we, as conscious beings, are not passive spectators, but co-authors of this mystery, readers and writers in the same instant, witnesses and creators of the same story. In the microscopic silence, where nothing seems to happen, the most dizzying of revolutions is hidden. The discovery that all that is visible is nothing but a reflection, an unbroken web of information, a thought thinking itself in the vastness of the universe. If you have made it this far, it means that you love curiosity as much as we do. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like, write a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support what we do. Your presence truly makes a difference. Until the next exploration.